Hello there, I'm Black Bright News, and this is a quick one. I think probably those who are affected will know anyway about the bus passes. But yeah, for those people who are approaching 60s and they used to get a bus pass at the age of 60, that doesn't apply anymore. So just like the pension, you're going to have to wait for your bus pass, depending on what year you're born. You might have to wait until you're 67 now before you get a bus pass. And the bus passes are really, really useful because it does save you a lot of money. And you can take them regardless of whether you're in London or regardless of the part of which country you're in, you can actually use them. Now, I'm talking about the bus passes for the elderly. And yes, they've kind of they've got a restriction that they only start at 9:30. But some borough councils, they do allow you to board earlier, but you have to board in that county or that borough. So, say for example, Central Bedfordshire, they allow you to board the bus in Central Bedfordshire. Say Dunstable, for example. I can't drive to Luton before 9:30 and think I'm going to get on the bus just because I've got a Central Bedfordshire bus pass. It won't work. I have to board the bus in Central Bedfordshire. That's the first thing. Well, the main thing is I think it always 9:30 in certain areas. So I don't think that's a change, and I think it was always depending on the borough. Some boroughs they give you more concessions than others. But the state pension age, that is the biggest thing on the 26th of November when it came into force. That anyone who was thinking, yeah, I can save some money, I'm going to get my bus pass, you won't be able to do it. So that's a shame. One thing I didn't like about the 9:30 is that it presupposes that you're not going to have, as an elderly person, you're not going to have an appointment before 10. If you have an appointment before 10, you might not be able to make it if you can't get on the bus before 9:30. If you have a dentist appointment, yes, you can change it, but it means you have to wait. Probably have to wait another 2 weeks or something for a new appointment. So I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea that it presupposes that you may not be working. And if you're not working, if you are working and you have a 9 o'clock start, what happens then? You have to pay to get on the bus. Okay, you don't have to pay to go home, but you have to pay when you're going to work. So I don't like that idea. Also, 11 o'clock. Are they presupposing that all the old biddies are supposed to be in at 11 o'clock? You can't board a bus after 11 with your bus pass. I think that's ridiculous. Because when you think about it, we are all, well, yes, we might be elderly in the grand scheme of things when it comes to age. But supposing I decided I didn't want to drive my car, I wanted to go to a rave or I wanted to go to the pub and I wanted to take a bus back because I've been drinking. Can't do that. I think the perception of the elderly, and I might be knocking myself out here, but perception of the elderly is that you're sitting at home knitting or crocheting or looking after your cats and your dogs. And so you don't really have a life. So whatever life you do have, you need to be out at 9:30 and home by 11. I mean, anyway, we have to be grateful for small mercies. Bus pass is still there. And so I guess if you want to stay out later than 11, you'll have to take a cab home. What else was there? I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Oh, if you're renewing, if you're renewing your bus pass, the stupid old thing. If you're renewing your bus pass, you need to have all your ID that you had before, passport, proof of address, council tax, all that kind of stuff. Everything to say you're legit, because you might be elderly, but you might still be in the country without any papers. So they make sure that they make sure that you're a legitimate citizen and you are a legitimate resident. So you have to have all your paperwork in order to get your bus pass. But like I said, after the 26th of November, you won't be able to get it before before your state pension age. That's the biggest change. And I think I'll stop it there. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.